Good, everybody. It's your boy Ropes. I wanted to leave my thoughts on the PBC Premier Boxing Championships on NBC the other night. I enjoyed myself, man. I really did have a good time watching those fights. I did work that Saturday, but I got home just in time to see the Adrian Broner versus John Molina fight. And I enjoyed it, man. I enjoyed the night of boxing. I think that it's great that boxing is back to the general public, back on free TV. People are talking about everybody's praising Al Heyman now, but Al Heyman deserves praise for bringing boxing back to free TV. You had other guys like Oscar De La Hoya for years saying that they wanted to do this and they never did anything to make it happen. Al Heyman made it happen, and he's the man as far as I'm concerned until somebody can come along and top what he's doing. He's giving us fights that we want to see and for free. So shouts out to Al Heyman. I definitely took a bow to him on Saturday night. I liked the presentation. Some people were complaining about it and said they didn't like it. I actually liked the presentation, man. They didn't try to be like HBO or Showtime or ESPN or anything like that, man. They had their own little thing going. I liked how the fighters walked down to the ring by themselves because, it just put you in touch with that fighter instead of having a whole crowd of people there. It was different, and I liked it. If I can complain about one thing, it'd probably be the commentary. It was a little bit shaky. But it's the first time out. These guys don't have any chemistry with each other yet. But it was just a little shaky and awkward at times. Sugar Ray Leonard actually disagreed like a whole minute and a half after the fact with the other commentator when he said that Keith Thurman Robert Guerrero blocked one of Keith Thurman's right hands. And it seemed like 2 whole minutes went by before Sugar Ray Leonard was like, "Are you sure he didn't land that punch?" Like, that was just weird, But like I said, they don't have any chemistry yet. They got a lot of time to get that shit together. So no real complaints about the presentation itself. So I had a good time watching it. Getting into the first fight with Adrian Broner and John Molina. What can you say, man? I wasn't jumping out of my seat for the fight. It wasn't really that exciting, but Adrian Broner did what he had to do. He did his thing. He had a good performance for the most part. He outboxed his man all night. Outside of the third round, John Molina did absolutely nothing but wait around to try to land one shot that was going to knock Adrian Broner out. I guess that's what his plan was. I don't know what the fuck that was, but it was horrible. It was a horrible game plan. And out of all 4 men, John Molina came out on the shittiest end of the stick. I'm sure there's a lot of people who probably seen him for the first time that never want to see him again because he just didn't let his hands go, man. He didn't seem like he was there to win. So, I really can't complain about what Adrian Broner did. I thought that he handled himself pretty well. He didn't embarrass himself. I saw that he decided to cancel that Madonna thrust. He thought about it, but he remembered that he was on NBC on live TV, so he decided not to do it. And I just thank him for that. Thank you for not doing that. Now, here's the only negative thing that I will say about Adrian Broner, okay? For the most part, I'm giving him his props. Here's this one thing I want to say, okay? Now, I didn't like the way that he ran the last round, okay? What he did the last round was not smart. Some people think that that's smart, and it's only smart if you are dead tired and you don't have any energy to throw any punches, or if you're hurt bad and you're just trying to survive. You don't already won most of the fight. You're just trying to survive and get through it, and you don't want to get knocked on your ass in the last few seconds of the fight. That's when you run like that. But when you're on a big fucking stage like this, okay, live TV, biggest event in years for a lot of people. This is probably the first time for a lot of young people seeing this shit live on TV like this. I think that he should have closed the show, man. I mean, that's the only thing I'm going to say. He should have closed the show. There was no reason for him to run out the last round like that because he didn't appear to be tired to me. I think he could have let off on him. He had a guy in front of him that just didn't have it, man. He didn't have any steam under him, and he was already landing his jabs at will, his jab upstairs into the body, his overhand right, his left hook. He was landing all of his punches at will. He should have just let off on him. Even if he didn't put all of his steam into the punches, he should have just let his hands go and just let off on him, and just put everybody on their feet the last seconds of the fight, at least the last 20 seconds, something. instead of running out like that when he had no reason to do it. Because, see, the only thing Adrian Broner did by doing that, he secured a win, but he basically sold himself short, man, because a lot of fans didn't like that. And he basically let Keith One Time Thurman steal the night completely from him. This was his time to shine and show everybody that he was a real deal. And like I say, his performance against John Molina was good. It was just that last round that kind of fucked it up. It kind of made what he did all 11 rounds pointless by running the last round like that. It basically took all the work that he put in away. I mean, if you really think about it, because Robert Guerrero, even though Robert Guerrero lost his fight to Keith Thurman, he still came in second place for the night. And that's kind of sad, because he lost the fight and Adrian Broner actually won. But Guerrero actually came out a little bit ahead as far as winning the fans over. He came ahead over Adrian Broner. So, I don't think that was smart for him to do. But he listened to his corner, which is a complaint that I had about him not doing before. So I really can't complain about it. So congratulations to Adrian Broner. I don't even care who he fights next, really. I mean, I don't know who he's going to fight next. Whoever it is, I'm sure it's going to be a good fight and everybody's going to be watching. But what I really want to talk about is Keith Thurman versus Robert the Ghost Guerrero. That was one hell of a fight, and that was a good way to close out the night with these two men in the ring. Thank God that they were the main event and not the co-main event. Keith One Time Thurman impressed me, man. He really did. I don't remember him being that fast. I don't. I just thought that he was just unpredictable. That's why he was able to land his punches at will like that. But he's actually pretty damn fast. And he's got a good, consistent head and body attack, which makes him unpredictable. Robert Guerrero didn't know what he was going to do. At first, when the fight first started, and Keith Thurman came out and he threw that wild haymaker, I was like, whoa, what the fuck are you doing? Like, calm down. Don't get yourself knocked out in here with Robert Guerrero, because he's no joke. But I think that all worked out for him in the end, because he did exactly what he said he was going to do. And he let Robert Guerrero know that I'm really about what I say. I'm coming out here to bring the fight to you. And that kept Robert Guerrero on alert the rest of the night, that first round. And I believe that Keith Thurman dropped him in the 9th round, and he went in for the kill and didn't quite get it. And this is where Robert Guerrero turned it on in the next round and, pressed Keith Thurman on the ropes. At first I thought that Keith Thurman was just doing it out of pity for Robert Guerrero. But then when I was thinking about it, I thought maybe he punched himself out a little bit when he tried to go in to finish him in the 9th round. But I saw a video earlier that Keith Thurman did with 78 Fight News, and he explained that he was just letting them fight or whatever. So I believe him, man. I don't think that Keith Thurman is out here lying about shit. I don't think he has any reason to do that. But he says all the right shit, man. He really does, man. He's entertaining as hell to listen to. He says all the right things, and I believe him when he says it. He says, I have a O, and I'm not afraid to let it go. If you can beat me, beat me. That's the type of talk that I like to hear, man. I really do like to hear. And I hope that he doesn't change that once he becomes a mega star, because it's going to come for him, man. He's the next big thing. Not Adrian Broner. It's going to be all about Keith One Time Thurman, because he's interesting, man. He really is. I wish he could have gotten a good post-fight interview, and he would be able to tell everybody on live TV who he really wanted to fight next. That's another mistake that they made as far as the broadcast is concerned. But I'm convinced, man. Keith One Time Thurman is a man. This was his test right here, and he passed it with flying colors. This was his step up in competition, and he passed the test. I don't know why people are still hating on him. I'm reading comments and stuff. People are still saying that he ain't shit. And, this is why I've never really been a big fan of knockout nicknames, like Lights Out and, One Time and all that stuff, because when you don't get a knockout, even if you have a spectacular performance, if you outbox your opponent and just beat the living crap out of them, if you don't knock them out, people are going to say, well, see, he what happened at One Time? He didn't knock him out. You got fans that are like that, man, that are just selfish and shit. They don't give a damn about all the hard work that you put in over the course of those 12 rounds. They're just oh, he said he's gonna knock him out, so I want to see it, and if he don't, then he ain't shit. You know, that's why. So the whole KO for life thing and the one time thing, don't get me wrong, I like that talk, I like the confidence, but it can end up backfiring on him eventually, because the higher he steps up in competition, he's not going to be able to one time these dudes anymore. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure he's going to try every time though. So I respect him for that. But that's my thoughts, man. Who do I want to see Keith Thurman fight next? Anybody with a name, man. I really want to see him against Kell Brook. That would be my number one option. I'm really not going to spend too much time thinking about the winner of Mayweather and Pacquiao, which is going to be Mayweather, because I don't think that he's going to get either one of those fights. You know, I think the fights that he should be looking at is like Amir Khan. Of course, I already mentioned Kell Brook. You have Sean Porter still out there, who has to get himself back winning again, because he kind of fucked up when he lost to Kell Brook. Timothy Bradley. You know, those are the people that I want to see Keith Thurman in there with. I think the Timothy Bradley fight would be a fire fight. That would be an exciting fight, a good action-packed fight to watch. So those are who I want to see Keith Thurman in there with. My number one choice, like I say, Kell Brook. That's the fight that I'd like to see him in next. But you guys leave me your comments. Let me know what you think. I'm out. Deuce.